Hello YouTube, Magmarano, and today I'm just going to go over the Asus Transformer Prime, or you could call it the Asus Transformer 2, everything that we know about it, which is pretty much everything. I'm going to start off here. This is a picture of it. As you can see, it is now metal. The back of the Transformer is also metal, and this is a lot thinner, as you might be able to tell from this, but if not, I have other pictures. The benchmark, as you can see, it's a quad core running 1.4 gigahertz on each core, and this line, dotted line all the way on the right, represents the 10,000 point, and that is so much faster than all of the others here. Galaxy Nexus and Samsung S2 are pretty much the fastest phones on the market, and they are just coming in at about 6,000. So this is nearly double the power of the Nexus and Galaxy S2. Here's a picture of the tablet from the side. As you can see, they redid the design a little. On this side now, all you have is the 3.5mm headset jack, and the speaker ports are now on the back side since it is much thinner. But you can sort of see it, it's right there. They did make the speakers a little bit bigger, so hopefully that will increase the volume. It also looks like they spaced out the proximity sensor and the camera a little bit more. That front camera is still 1.2 megapixels or whatever it was before. Still got the 40 pin on the bottom. But now on this side you have the volume rocker. There's a later picture showing exactly where it is. There's a volume rocker, micro SD, and mini HDMI out. Power button's right up there on the upper left. Also, the camera has a flash and is now 8 megapixels with a much better sensor, so hopefully that'll bring much better quality pictures. Here's a quick picture from the teaser. So it just basically shows you how thin it is. As you can see, they got rid of those little covers that a lot of people got annoyed with on the USB ports, so now you can just plug it in. But unfortunately, there's only one now. So that is a big drawback if you were using like a USB mouse or something like that. Now you can't plug anything else in, but you can also see the thinness from here. Don't pay attention to the color. They just made it black so it looked better in the preview. Here's a same picture before. Here's the back. I do not think it is this bright in person, because I think when you actually like see it, it is a bit darker and a bit shinier. But I'm not sure. But as you can see, there's a speaker grill here. There's another on the other side. 3.5mm headset jack. Cameras you saw before. It's got the same Asus logo, but now it's got kind of like a circular metal pattern to it. I don't really know what to call that. But here's all of the features and all of the slots and stuff. So as you can see, there's the micro HDMI and the micro SD card slot. Volume rocker power, like I said. The new camera, some stats about it. There's only the one USB port, and it still is 2.0. SD card slot, like the old one. And it does have a 22 watt-hour battery, which I believe is 2 watt-hours less than the old dock. But if I don't have the battery, I do. Here, I'll just go into these quick. It's supposed to get 12 hours on the tablet alone and 18 with the dock. So that is pretty impressive. It is supposedly going to last much longer than this one is, by probably 2 to 3 hours. As you can see, it's 8.3 millimeters thin, and it is a lot lighter. It's 586 grams, which is a tiny bit heavier than the Galaxy 10 one, but it is also a tiny bit thinner. Up here, it's still got the IPS, but now it is IPS Plus, which is 1.5 times brighter if you choose to do so. But really, I don't see a benefit to that because I'm using it at like a third brightness now. And even if I could go that bright, I don't think I would unless I was outside and I really had to. But still, it's a nice feature to have in case you want to use it. It still has the Tegra 3 quad core, 1.4 gigahertz each. So there's really no point of overclocking that. It is plenty fast as is. Here it's saying it's 3.2 but upgradable to 4.0, but I believe this stat sheet is a little bit old because now they are going to wait until December and release it with Android 4.0. So you can just ignore the 3.2, it'll never run 3.2. Also, it only has 1 GB of RAM, which is a little bit conflicting with the data from this, because all these have 1 GB. In case you didn't know, the light blue on the left all the way is RAM, and this is showing about double that of the Nexus and S2. So it says it only has 1 GB. I really don't think they would lie about that, but it could be 2, so that's like the only thing that's up in the air right now. Also, it only comes in 32 GB and 64 GB versions, but the good news is the 32 GB is $500. So in case you were planning on getting the 32 of the original Transformer, they cost about the same. Well, with that being said, the original Transformer's price will drop now that this is being released, but still, it's a good deal for the 32 GB and 64. It's got the Wi-Fi BGN network like before, same front camera, but now it's got a better rear camera with the flash and with the new aperture. It's got all the docks that I said before. Of course, it's got all the ports I said before, but the dock now only has one USB port instead of 2, so there's a slight downside, but it is a lot thinner, and it's a lot lighter, so that's a big benefit to make up for it. It's got the same kind of sensors as it did before. Let me just read the apps real quick. It's got all the same apps, except it has one called App Locker, which I believe would make it so you can lock certain apps with a passcode or something like that. So that would be good to have. Here's a Super IPS saying the recommended display brightness outside in the bright sun is 500 to 800 nits, and this is achieving 600. So in theory, it should be easy to read in bright sunlight. Showed that before, so I'll just go through the pictures again. If you want, you could pause it and just look at them. So as you can see, they based the design heavily off of the original Transformer. They moved around the ports a lot, and they did a complete upgrade of the system. Other than that, it's still got the trackpad, still got the chiclet keyboard. Not that, that's the Nexus. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm not sure what all these bars stand for, but I believe this light blue is the RAM. The other next one is the processing power. And I completely forget. One of them's like the 3D FPS score, which is how many frames per second it can achieve with some really, really demanding processes. So just as you can see from this, it's got a ton of power, and it's going to be much more powerful than anything else on the market, probably for the next 6 months. I don't think anything will come close until the next Tegra 3 tablet's released. So that's pretty much it. Here's the stats if you want to read them. They might be hard to read. So thank you very much for watching. If you have any questions about the the Asus Prime, or if you want to call it the Asus Transformer 2, whatever you want to call it, if you have a question, just let me know and I will be glad to answer it. If you want to suggest a video for me to do something on, just let me know and I'll do it. Later today I'll be doing a video review of iris and voice actions, which are pretty similar things to what you'd find on the iPhone called Siri, because what you get built in is this little microphone up here, but unfortunately all it does is search the web or search your device for an app name. It can't do anything else, whereas these you can ask it questions and it'll just give you the answer, stuff like that. So anyway, that'll be later today. I'd say by 7 or 8 o'clock tonight, so please come back and watch that. But thank you so much for watching this. If you like my videos, please subscribe and give me a thumbs up. It helps me out a lot, and I'll be doing those giveaways very soon. I'm only about 90 subscribers away, and I can tell you what I'll be giving away because I'm sure now. I'll be giving away one ViperTech case. One of my friends, or actually we're kind of like YouTube partners, The Innocent, he did a review on that. I'll go to that real quick. And then I am also going to be giving away one micro SD card. I'm not sure the size yet or the speed of it yet. It depends on what I find them what the prices I find them for is and stuff like that. So here's the case. I'm just gonna like skim through the video real quick. So as you can see, it's a nice folio case. It's a bit different setup than mine is because you can do any angle you want, but it's a nice case. So that'll be good for me to give away. I think a lot of people would like that. So remember, you have to be subscribed if you want to win that. And thank you very much for watching again, and I hope to see you soon.